In 1971, the Wild and Free-Roaming Horses and Burros Act was signed into law, allowing for the management, protection, and study of unbranded and unclaimed horses and burros on public lands in the United States. The act makes it a crime for anyone to harass or kill these animals on federal land. As of March of this year, there were over 55,000 wild horses and 11,000 burros in 10 western states. The Bureau of Land Management is tasked to preserve and maintain the herds. In that effort, the BLM holds internet and on-site adoption events all across the country.
We have 30 horses and burros for adoption here at Cassapolis. This is what we call a satellite adoption, where we bring everything in, from the equipment all the way to the animals. Next month we'll be in Ithaca, New York, and the month after that we'll be in Missouri. Throughout the nation, you can pretty much find an adoption almost every weekend, depending on what part of the country you're in. We've got about 50,000 animals in captivity right now that we are trying to find homes for, and it's a full-time occupation for us.
Adopters must meet certain criteria, and after properly caring for an animal for 1 year, they're eligible to receive title or ownership from the federal government. For the past 3 years, the BLM has held their Michigan adoption at Red Horse Ranch in Cassapolis. Suzette Hudak owns and operates the equestrian facility where they both board horses and host International Barrel Racing Association events.
I think the first year they were just looking for a facility big enough to be able to set up pens indoors. Michigan weather isn't the greatest and can't be relied upon. And we had that facility, so that's how we got hooked up. And then I think we fell in love with them. It's a wonderful program. The animals are amazing, and the representatives from the BLM are some of the most professional horse people I've ever met.
The BLM has placed more than 230,000 wild horses and burros into private care since 1971. The purpose of the program is all about population control. With no natural predators, the wild mustangs and burros reproduce annually at a rate of over 20%.
The land out there is multi-use. I mean, they use it for recreation, oil and gas development, grazing, and the horses have to share the land with other wildlife. And so BLM's way of moving horses is gathering the horses and putting these horses up for adoption. Now, Forest Service there's horses not only on BLM land, but on Forest Service land, Fish and Wildlife land. They have their own measure of controlling the population, and whether it be they just sell them outright or what have you, BLM's only real population control measure is the adoption. And since I've came on, it's also the Sale Authority program.
The Sale Authority program is specifically for animals over 10 years old and for those of any age that have been passed over for adoption at least 3 times. The BLM hopes through their internet and on-site adoptions that all mustangs and burros find a new home. Last year at Red Horse Ranch, at the urging of one of Suzette Hudak's daughters, they adopted the Mustang with one blue eye and one black eye, known as Lakota.
He was left at the end of the adoption. He was not very attractive, scraggly looking, and my kids fell in love with that ugly duckling. And we kept him, and he is probably our sweetest horse. Very kind. He's not old enough to ride yet, so we're just working on general ground manners and safety issues with him, but we could not be happier.
Our main function is to make sure that these animals have good homes, and we preserve the herds. It's something that we believe in as much as we believe in most anything else. When we find a good home, it's a feeling that you never get anyplace else.
You can learn more about the National Wild Horse and Burro Program, the criteria to be considered, and locations for an upcoming event near you at blm.gov.